Sega Saturn, Sega Saturn, that quintessential third-place console. No matter how many times Sega dropped the price of this 32-bit boondoggle, it just couldn't help getting steamrolled by the original PlayStation and Nintendo 64. But, like so many game machines that were unappreciated in their own time, the Saturn has enjoyed a renaissance only after its death. It had a library of exclusive Sega games like Panzer Dragoon Saga, Burning Rangers, and Magic Knight Rayearth that collectors will pay hundreds of dollars to own today. Now, hey, don't look at me. I bought these at Electronics Boutique when they were new. The problem is, Sega Saturn is a collector's nightmare. The packaging for its games, while beautiful, is incredibly fragile and very difficult to replace. It's also designed in such a way that even if you don't do anything, it destroys itself over time. Welcome back to Complete in Box, the series where we take a look back at old games by looking at the box and the manual and all the other stuff they came with. Today, we're not so much talking about an individual game, but the packaging of the Sega Saturn library overall. When CD-ROM games were first introduced in Japan in the late 1980s, they came in standard-size CD jewel cases. Imagine that. Well, everything's gotta be bigger in America. Cars, steaks, Xbox controllers, CD cases. After briefly toying with cardboard long boxes, what Sega landed on were these massive plastic jewel cases, which were designed to fit multiple discs and a huge manual. These were actually manufactured by Sony, which used them for a little bit for PlayStation 1 before realizing it was a much better idea to just use regular jewel cases. But not Sega. They stuck with these all the way to the end of Saturn's life. Now, the first thing you'll notice is that these cases are beautiful. They're super tall, making their front sides a big, beautiful canvas for gorgeous artwork. The gleaming plastic gives the whole thing a pretty shine. Seeing this in a store was like looking at a work of art. They look amazing lined up on a shelf, too. The first problem is that this big expanse of plastic that gives the box such a nice look is incredibly fragile. These things are not exactly molded out of high-grade acrylic. If you so much as look at them the wrong way, they'll shatter. And they always do. Anybody who collects Saturn games has to deal with whole piles of broken cases, swapping the good games into the best cases, buying cheap copies of Madden just for donors. Now, there is actually a seller on Amazon offering brand new replacement cases for Saturn games at $6 a pop, but that doesn't solve all the problems. This case works well enough when a game is just one disc, but as soon as games get any bigger than that, things get clunky. Take Mr. Bones here. This is a 2-disc game, and disc 2 is placed on this weird sort of extra tray that's inelegantly shoved in there. And then there's Panzer Dragoon Saga, a sprawling role-playing game weighing in at 4 discs. In Japan, this all fits in a nice double-sided jewel case. In the US, the discs are in flimsy paper sleeves that float around loose inside the case. Not exactly perfect for long-term preservation. But even assuming you don't smash the cases or lose the sleeves or scratch the discs up, this packaging is basically just killing itself. The way the manuals sit in the cases, especially if the games are ever stored in a stack, the manuals will start to sag and deform. Check your cases and you'll probably see a lot of this. And yet, all these problems won't stop collectors from coveting the Sega Saturn and its games. So wrap those cases in bubble wrap, stack them upside down to keep the manuals from bending, rest them on a bed of nice soft pillows, and cross your fingers and pray that they stay complete in box. Sega Saturn.